Okay, yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with a Combat Radio. And let's get into it. Whyte versus Franklin. Okay, so I've heard some talk of robbery, some robbery talk. Excuse me. People saying that, some saying that Franklin won the fight. Well, it's very easy. It's very easy for me to dissect and analyze. Okay, first things first. If you watch the fight and you're not marking the fight, then you kind of you're not in a position to comment on the fight afterwards, in terms of who you think won and who didn't win, because you were sitting there. You could have been marking the fight. You could have had your pen and your paper, your pen and your pencil and your paper, but you didn't. You sat there and you just watched. And then at the end of the fight, you said, well, I thought such and such won. Yeah, but where's your scoring? Where's your scorecard? I will always ask you, where is your scorecard? Because I sit down, I watch the fight, and I keep a scorecard so I can tell you every round that each fighter won according to my scorecard. Yeah? Whereas if you sat there and watched the fight and you didn't mark it, then you can't do that. Do you know what I mean? So, pure and simple, I can give you a breakdown of the fight. The rounds I had well, firstly, the overall view is that Franklin did very, very well. He was winning the earlier part of the fight, and I thought that he was going to bring the upset. And I said so. But as the fight wore on, Dillian came back into it. And by the time it got to round 10, I had them dead even. So they were both dead even at round 10. What's happening here? Whyte, 119 thrown or landed, 119 landed, 513 thrown, 23% connect rate. Franklin, 512 thrown, 134 landed up until that point, and that was in the 11th round. Okay, so according to whoever's clicking the clicker there. Okay, so by round 10, I had them dead even. Now, where Dillian Whyte pulled away was in round 11 and 12. I think it was in round 11 where he had Franklin badly rocked, and in round 12, Whyte, I think he landed the more damaging shots. So what round is that? Round 12. So Franklin was game all the way through, and a lot of the rounds were very close, but I think I was generous to Franklin, and the outcome was 115 to 113 for Dillian Whyte. So in a fight so close, I can't see how you could call it a robbery. But it was a close fight, and I was very impressed with Franklin. But I said all along in my pre-fight analysis on the Monday show, the original wrap-up show, I said all along that Franklin was not going to be a pushover, and he proved to be no pushover. But Robbery, hell to the no. That was a close fight, and both guys at some point or other got rocked. Very, very close fight. Could it have gone either way? Yeah, I guess it could have gone either way. But to say it was a robbery means that one guy was clearly head and shoulders better than the other, or more effective than the other, and that was not the case. I think I was generous in my marking for Franklin, and he came up 2 rounds behind, but it was very, very close. Two of the judges had it 116, 112. I didn't agree with that. Although I was only a 1 point difference, mine was 115, 113. One judge had it 115, 115. Well, that might have been on the money, because Franklin, I mean, on the replays here, it's all Franklin. I mean, I'm going to move it forward a bit. Okay, I think that was one of the damaging shots from Whyte, I think. What does Franklin do after this? Yeah, he got touched up a lot in the 12th round. Touched up a lot, particularly in the last 30 seconds. Throughout boxing history, we've had fighters who specialized in winning the last 30 seconds of each round. And I think Dillian Whyte did do well in the last 30 seconds of the 11th and 12th round. Yeah, it's maybe one of them fights that could be watched again. It was a very highly entertaining fight. There's no doubt about it. But I think Dillian Whyte just ran off a little bit, edged out the 11th and the 12th rounds, but it was close all the way. I had it even Steven going into the championship rounds. Very, very good, highly entertaining fight. Robbery? Nah. Could I have gone with a draw? Yes. Because when you look at the replays, Franklin is competitive all the way through. Who attacks this time? Let's go for another random. Okay, touches Whyte there. Another random. Another random. There we go. Franklin was competitive all the way through, all night long. Maybe it should have been a draw. Maybe it should have been a draw, because every time I move a cursor, who's attacking? Boom. That's conclusive. Maybe it should have been a draw. But anyway, have your say. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. We're going to talk about this more on the live show, but have your say. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And we're out. Who attacks this time? Time.